we're on to our final talk for the entire Transformers Ed 3-day series. We got BAHZAD from Naked and Famous, and oh my God, I can't believe we've got him. If you can unmute yourself, sir, it'll be unbelievable. Wow.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going really well. I can't believe that we're going to have you for 20 minutes, and you're quite used to talking for 3 hours on your live.
Oh yeah.
So this is actually a walk in the park for you.
20 minutes is barely an introduction. I don't know.
20 minutes. So it's a tiny little just in case students don't know. But BAHZAD is one of the architects and one of the masterminds behind Naked and Famous Denim. He's been at the brand from the very beginning. I think you're the first employee. I think that's what you.
Yeah, I was the first employee.
Okay.
Yeah, I started in January of 2010. The brand started in February 2008. I kind of met Brandon shortly after he started the brand. I was actually working in a denim. Well, I was working at a luxury retailer in Canada called Holt Renfrew. I was working in the denim department there, and that's where I met Brandon. So we just kind of befriended each other, and here I am.
A lot about fabrics is actually working on like the shop floor, I guess, right? That's how you picked up the bug.
Yeah, I mean, I worked throughout the department store. I worked everywhere from like men's denim. I worked in men's suits. I worked in women's contemporary for a long time, like women's jeans. I worked in lingerie for a day. They did not like me in lingerie. I worked in like the kids section. I worked everywhere. Wherever they wanted me, I just moved. But I got really good at selling jeans, and I just enjoyed it. I liked selling jeans. I liked fitting people for jeans. I found it challenging. I found it interesting. And that's where I learned about raw denim. I was a raw denim guy. I was selling, all of the Hollywood glamour brands to everybody, every day. But what I was wearing was raw denim. So, I was trying to convert people little by little. But so I even before starting at Naked and Famous Denim, I kind of understood what it would take to kind of get the average person, the person who never cared about raw denim, didn't even know what it was, into a pair of raw jeans. So that was always, I just wanted to share my personal passion for it with people, and I'm still getting paid to do it.
And that's the thing. When you get paid for something that you enjoy, it's pretty awesome, right? I've got some questions for you, so let's make sure we get them down. I know you guys for many years, and I've seen you in trade shows, and I'm always amazed by the fabric development you guys do. Like that's the thing that draws a lot of people to your brand. Every season you're developing. I don't know. How many different developments are you doing each season? I'm sure there's many that never make it, but on average, how many developments are you doing each season?
We put out about 12 a season, and then we're usually working on, I don't know, maybe 16, 18 a season. And, some things don't work out. Some things get pushed on to the next season. We make it, we stock it. There's fabrics in our warehouse that we've made, and we're just like, I don't know when the right time to release this is. So, we're always just trying to, people ask us like, are you ever going to run out of ideas? And we've been doing this for so long. I'm like, at this point, I don't think we can. Like we're just constantly just trying to impress ourselves. Of course we have customers and we're trying to, make product for them, but it's mostly just us being like, what would like impress us at this point? And, I see you have something in your hands there. And
I'm going to show you some stuff because I often buy a lot of your pieces to show students. So this is one of your recent ones. It's a Lord of Net. Unbelievable net quality on that. Oh my God, like the most neppiest denim I've seen in my entire life.
Yes, it absolutely is. And we had to develop yarns for this stuff. Like, we would go to these supplier meetings and we're sometimes just trying to explain like what it is that we want. And, in Japan, there's a certain way they like to do things. And they're like, okay, well, here's the yarn book and here's all the yarn options that we have. And we're like, these aren't going to work. And then, so we're kind of pushy. I'm going to admit sometimes we're a little bit pushy. So, then I remember this one time, especially the way we had this fabric developed, and we had another one called the King of Slub. And we were just kind of, we kept pushing back with the supplier about like, we need it to be slubbier. We need it to be heavier. And they're like, it doesn't exist. Like we can't get yarns like that. So one meeting, they bring in the yarn guy, the guy from the yarn spinning company. And basically his job was to tell us like, oh no, it's impossible. But they didn't just bring that guy. They also brought the sales guy. Yeah. And so we're like, yeah, of course you can do it. And the sales guy's like, well, how much do you want to order? And we're like, well, this much. And he's like, yeah, of course we can do it. Of course we can do it. And so we just kept. Sorry.
Talking about impossible, you guys did have, you had the crown, and you're about to break that crown again with the heavy denim.
Right. So that was another thing. We were pushing heavyweight denim for so long, and that record, the 32-ounce denim record, actually got defeated, and I think you're responsible for that one.
Sorry.
But it's okay. You know what? It never went into production. We are still the production leader of heaviest denim in the world.
I just made a prototype. It wasn't made in production yet.
But speaking of pushing on suppliers, when that 38-ounce denim came out, and I saw it, I'm like, okay, well, now we have to keep going. Like it just doesn't stop. Like, we're like the Terminator. It's not gonna, just because you kill us doesn't mean we're dead. We're coming back, and we're gonna keep coming back. So we actually wrote to the president of the mill, and we're like, we can't lose this crown. This is the pride of Japan. You're Japanese denim makers. You make the heaviest denim in the world. You've always made the heaviest denim in the world. You have to keep making the denim in the world. We're gonna buy every single meter you make. It doesn't, whatever it takes, we will buy it. Let's do it.
Talking about denim weights, obviously you guys have got your online store, and also you got two physical shops as well. So what is the most comfortable weight? What's the weight that sells the best? Is it the 12 ounce? The
commercial stuff, 12.5 ounce. That's 12.5 ounce to 13. 13.75. That's the sweet spot. That's where everybody's going to be comfortable, and it's also the most all year round. The lightweight stuff, 10, 11 ounce, that's really great for the summertime. People want to be a little bit more comfortable, but generally speaking, especially for us, because of our price point, we attract a lot of new people to, number one, premium menswear, premium denim, better dressing. We fit a lot of categories. Because we're the value. People really see us as the value brand. Like, we bring in a lot of quality and a great price point. We're not inexpensive by any means. We're still a luxury price product. Most jeans are $20 or less. So, but when guys, we mostly cater to guys. We do have a women's line too. But whenever people want to get into raw denim, they find us, and they don't want to jump in. Some people jump in head first. Some people start with the Lord of Nep, the King of Slubs, the 32 ounce, but. Most people, they want to get a basic jean that they're going to wear. It's going to last them a long time. It's going to be a quality piece. So the 12.5 ounce, 13 ounce range suits everyone, suits all year.
Let's go through some of the jeans that I've got in my collection, because that is a great talking points. This is your tatami matte jean, which was unbelievable. I thought this was unbelievable when you came up with this one.
Thank you so much.
Coming up with ideas that I honestly, I never ever would have thought of the tatami matte indigo dyed denim, but wow.
Well, some things, I mean, they're not. Is it denim? That's actually another good question.
It's denim. It fades. It's denim for me. If it's indigo, it's rope dyed and it fades. For me,
fine. For me, I always have this debate with people, and I consider so many different kinds of fabric denim. So I'm in your camp here, but sometimes the term authenticity gets thrown around when we talk about denim, especially when we talk about stretch denim. Some people are like, oh, well, that's not authentic. I'm like, well, you're going to have to explain that one to me, because I believe it is.
So stretch denim is authentic, and it's been around for a very long time. And
that's right.
Some other things you've done, really amazing, even sort of reflective jeans, which was cool.
Yep. That was a big trend for a long time, the 3M reflective stuff. So we wanted to, we thought it'd be cool to make a jean out of that. And we actually made a pretty cool video, and I think it's on YouTube. You can look it up, reflective denim, and it works. It's perfect.
I couldn't help myself, but I did buy the thermochromatic, the jean that changes color with heat, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, change the color with body heat, thermochromic denim. It still works, right? The dye does wear out over time. I mean, if you grew up in the 80s like I did, we all had those color changing teachers, and eventually it wears out. But I'm glad to see yours is still working fine. Actually, that's our #1 viewed video on YouTube. Is our thermochromic denim video. Is it really? Yeah, it's got 200,000 hits or something. I don't know. It's a lot.
Something that was fun for me was the glow in the dark one that you did. Now, obviously, this was a coating, and I think I managed to develop one that was at the yarn level, which was
cool. Yeah. So, sometimes it's just easier, for that, or the reflective denim. It's coating, and I'm sure at some point you can get it done at the yarn level, but then there's just costs. And then the other thing that the mills here especially hate is when you're doing coatings on yarn and running it through the shuttle looms. they don't like it because
They don't like it. Yeah.
if the machines are down, even for an hour, they're just angry at you, and then they never want to do something for you again. So sometimes you have to like, okay, how can we do this in a way that they're going to be happy with?
So you guys are known for your collaborations, but you weren't always collaborating. Only now I think people look forward to all the collaborations you're doing.
Sure.
If it's like a video game collaboration or movie-based collaboration, or even a geeky, obscure Japanese anime that no one knows about, you often do it, which is awesome. So what have been the most exciting collaborations you've done in recent years? And for our students, obviously, they're used to collaborations now, but in my day, 20 years ago, it wasn't a thing to collaborate people. So
when we were growing up, it was rare. If you saw two brands come together, it was like, what on earth is going on? Now it's quite common, and people love it. I mean, I enjoy it. That's why we do it, right? But like, we're nerds. Like, you know, we're not the cool kids by any means. Like, you know, Brandon, myself, definitely, you know, some of the biggest nerds in school when we were in school, and like, we like nerdy things. So like, now that we're older and, you know, nostalgia kicks in, we can start to incorporate a lot of that into the things that we enjoy. So we did, you know, a project with Street Fighter. We did a project with Dragon Ball Z. This season, we did one with Rick and Morty. This season coming out, I have it right here somewhere. 1 second, let me just get it. It's right behind me.
Get it. I love it. We'd love to. Our students would love to see it.
I'm a big horror movie guy. In fact, like in 20, 30 minutes, there's a pre-order for a horror movie poster that I need to order. But anyways, we're doing one with Friday the 13th. So we got Jason Voorhees here. We did it's a super heavyweight 20 ounce, and like, I love horror movies. Like, I love video games. I love anime. But one of the things I love the most is horror movies. I got a giant horror movie collection. I collect horror movie posters. So like, we did one with the Toxic Avenger, and if for anybody who likes B movies or things like that, like who know what trauma films are, but trauma film, like the Toxic Avenger is probably Trauma's, you know, most famous character ever. They're actually doing a Hollywood edition of that movie, but you should watch the original because it's hilarious. And we got to work with Trauma on that, and you know, for a lot of these things, like we get to work pretty closely with you know, with the companies. You know, when we did one with Ghostbusters, we were like deep in there with them.
Time, because I used to work at a company called Okini, and we were collaborating, and it took months, like 6, 7 months, 9 months, even a year, to get the agreement in place before you even sat down and designed anything. So yeah. So I know, having been collaborating myself on many brands, it's a long process. Legal sometimes gets involved.
Yeah. Like, we have to line these up well in advance. Like, there's a project we're working on right now with another like Japanese company for an anime, pretty popular. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to say what it is, but yeah, just because sometimes the way these companies work is like, there's a representative in the United States, and so you get your region that you're allowed to cover, and then from there they have to get everything approved through Japan, and Japan has their own way of doing things, and like, we're used to it because, you know, we're based here in Japan. We're very much used to working with Japanese companies, so we get it. But sometimes people don't get it, and I'm sure it can be very frustrating for them. For us, we're like, it's frustrating, but like, we understand what the deal is. So
obviously, you're based in Japan. Brandon's based in Canada, but you still travel between. And I used to always see you on trade. I see you in New York and Paris. You did the pre-COVID. You were traveling like me every other month, right? So, you know, how's COVID affected your business for a designer who's about to go into the field any minute now, or will graduate next year? It's like a completely different landscape of selling products, right? Like, it's more important to have great PDFs and great presentations and Zooms. And how do you
no question about it. So pre-COVID, I actually just moved to Japan. Like, you had a trip to Japan. Like, you were one of the last people I saw. Like, no joke. Right. Yeah. So you came to Japan, and had moved here just around that time. So I was living in Montreal in Canada. We moved here to, you know, relocate, and me and my wife, and you know, our plan was to basically go back to Canada every couple of weeks, and, you know, no big deal. We're used to traveling, you know, a lot. You know, it was not really a problem for us. But, you know, the whole world shut down all of a sudden, and it's still difficult to move around these days. But luckily, pre-COVID, we were actually quite prepared, you know, because we saw trade shows kind of not being what they used to be. right? The excitement wasn't there. If anybody who's listening or watching remembers what Bread and Butter Berlin was like, or like going to like some of the shows in Paris and like day one on the, like if you were in Berlin for Bread and Butter, there was 1 million people in the city. No joke. There was 1 million people in that city. Everybody was in that city, was there for fashion, and you knew it because everybody was wearing their best fashions. And it's the same thing, Paris Fashion Week, you know, you'd be around and like, it was popping, it was happening. And then slowly things just started to change a little bit. The industry wasn't quite the same, and the shows stopped being as popular as they were. There are a lot more showrooms. Brands were just, maybe just because of the economy, brands were dropping off, stores were dropping off. And, you know, when those things happen, you know, general traffic starts to slow down. And then we would start to see buyers second guessing, like, especially because we work with a lot of owner operator types. You know, not every business is, you know, the big department store. There's a lot of independents. And when you're dealing with independents, owner operator, and they have to go on a trip to Paris, or they have to go to a trip to New York or Vegas, it means they have to shut the store down because they run the store, they do the buying, you know, they're the manager, they have one other part-timer or whatever. So they got to shut that store down. They're closed for 3 or 4 days. They're spending thousands of dollars while they're on traveling. They're losing thousands of dollars while they're away. So they figured, you know what? I'm not going to do this trip. You've got line sheets. I'm going to do it by line sheets. So we would do the line sheets. We use a service called New Order, and you know, New Order, Jure. There's a lot of systems out there that can do line sheets for you very conveniently. You can email them out as PDFs. You can, you know, they've got iPad apps, all that kind of stuff. Very, very simple, easy to use. So we were doing that. And then on top of that, we were making videos. Like, we've been making videos for a long time. So
you guys are the best at storytelling. You know, the fact that I've come across a lot of your ideas via your videos, you know, and you know, obviously you've only recently been doing your your live streams for the last year or so. But before that, I would know about something because you've done such good storytelling and marketing. That's the thing. Like, I wanted our students to know that you guys not only do, you know, you brand every single jean with an amazing story, something quite, you know, and even if it's like comical graphic, but it's not a tiny bit of text, and that's all you need. But the storytelling that you guys do, and that's what it is. That's storytelling, the main thing, I think, that you guys do so well. That captures.
I think so. Like, you know, if you put out an indigo jean on the counter, 99.9% of the world has no idea. It's a dark jean that's heavy and rigid and uncomfortable. Like, why is this special to me? And being a salesperson on the sales floor, I have to say, I'm going to pat myself on the back and say that, you know, I actually went to the product knowledge seminars. I read the books. I think I was a good salesperson. I think I was a good salesperson. But I know the people who work around me, and most people don't care. They're never going to be able to transmit that information to the customer. So we figured, look, you put a little blurb on your product, at least the customer who picks up that product, who isn't going to be helped by the shop staff, is going to be able to understand what's going on here. And then we also do as much outreach as we can. You know, we've been doing live streams on YouTube for a while now, but I've been doing them on Instagram for years. And like, you know, like 1, 2, 3 hour live streams, answering customer questions, just hanging out and just, you know, being accessible to our customers. And, you know, the way I figure it is, the more educated the customer is, the better it is. You know, the salespeople, look, a lot of salespeople are transient. You know, they're in the industry, they're out of the industry. There's not a lot of professional salespeople out there. So, you know, going in, like, we would go in and when we can, you know, we would go into the stores, we do product knowledge seminars for the staff, and then you come back 6 months later and it's a whole new staff, right? Yeah. So, and it's not to say that it's not worth doing. It's just, it's easier for me to train the customer than it is for me to train the staff.
Interesting. Obviously, you know, I know for a fact that, you know, I remember coming across a denim that you did that had like a red core.
That's right.
And I consult for Mills. All of them bought that jean. You know,
that's awesome. That's amazing.
I was laughing, going, dude, why? He goes, oh, we need to understand it. And I went, what's not to understand? You just it's just a red core. So it's like, you know, but you know, there's so many things you guys are doing, and there's so many things that you're influencing the market. And you know, I really thank you for being here as well. Our time's nearly run out, but it's just awesome to have you with us. And obviously, for the students who don't know, just go and check out Naked and Famous. Watch. I think you're live every day. You're live every Friday at like midnight UK time. So it's 1 o'clock like European time. And
so I'll be live in a few hours. Like I'm gonna take a nap and then I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna live stream for 2 hours.
I know, because I always do the kitchen cleaning at midnight. And I have it ready, and I watch your podcast while I'm washing up. So it's really funny. That's my routine on a Friday evening.
Fantastic.
But,
it's my Saturday morning routine here. It's Friday evenings for a lot of people. Saturday morning for me. Yeah, you can join me on our YouTube channel. Just type in Naked and Famous Denim, you'll find me. Our videos are okay. You know, I put out product videos, like for any product that we put out. I do something now called the fade review. So like when we have a faded jean that looks really cool, I'll go over all the details of that jean and explain why things fade a certain way. You know, it's one thing to just look at pictures of faded. If you love raw denim and, you know, faded jeans, you've been looking at pictures for 15 years online, because that's all people have ever done. Nobody ever does videos on them. So I thought, okay, let's start doing some videos. Let's actually look and study what's happening.
What I love about your lives is that you not only do you share wear developments, you also share things that you're working on six months down the line, and you actually ask your you know, the people who are following you, going, what do you guys think? So you're getting feedback live from your customers. Awesome. And you know, in some ways, you know, and I always believe that, oh, maybe you shouldn't do that, but actually, why not? Why don't you do that? Because that way you get first-hand experience of this idea that's going to work, and you're speaking directly to your customers, so it makes more sense. We got one question. When does a jean stop being a jean?
I don't know. When does it, like, I mean, you'd have to wear those jeans out. You know, I'm sure I have a bunch of vintage jeans, and I'm sure you own many more vintage jeans than I do. There comes a point when your jeans are so delicate that anything will destroy them. Yeah. And I would say that when they can literally turn to dust when you handle them, that's still a jean. But you know, we're getting there.
We're getting there. BAHZAD, we're gonna have to leave it there. You've been awesome. Please give my love and respect to your lovely wife, sort of Larissa, as well, and all the best to you, and thank you for joining us. Hopefully we can get you back, maybe to show some of the students past developments, which would be awesome for inspiration. Maybe.
My pleasure. I mean, I've got jeans everywhere in this place. I'm piles.
So all the best to you, and thank you for joining us from all the way in Yokohama. God knows what time it is for you. What, 3-4 in the morning? I don't know what time it is.
No, it's 12:30 a.m. No problem. Still early.
You're like me. You stay up late. Thank you so much for your time. You've been awesome. There's all these recordings are going to be shared as well. BAHZAD, thank you so much for your time, and see you again soon, hopefully in Europe or in Japan.
Absolutely. Super. All right. Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone. Bye.